Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got some great news. Divi have just added a few new modules. One of it is this little before-after slider here, which is fantastic, really easy to use. I've used it before on pressure washing sites, car detailing sites and things like that. But that's not what I'm looking at today. Just thought I'd show you that. We've created a menu up here with a new drop-down menu feature that they've added. I've got a little icon there. When I hover over it, it's got this little drop-down. I've added my menu right there. And you can add anything you want to this. Sky is the limit. It's really exciting stuff. We can either close it out with a toggle right here or just take it off. As I'm using hover, it hides it. Really exciting new features. So I'll show you exactly how you can use it for this little layout right here. It works on all devices too. If I hit my F12 key, I'm using Google Chrome here. And put on my responsive mode. Here we are on an iPad. Of course, on an iPad, they're going to have to click on it. It's going to do its thing. And then click again. It's going to make it disappear. Or, of course, you can use an icon to close it if you want to. So let's get started. I'm going to get rid of my inspector right here. Let's start a new page. We'll start from scratch. I'll give it a name. Now, because I'm creating my own menu for this, I'm going to use a blank canvas, so there's no default header on the top of our page. To do that, go over the right-hand side. You'll see template. At the moment, it's set to default. I'm going to set it to blank page. That way, we'll have no header and footer on here. Of course, you can design this over in your theme builder too if you want to add it as a custom header on all pages or specific pages. And we've covered that in many videos. So let's start from scratch. We'll use the Divi builder. I'm going to go ahead and build from scratch. By default, as I'm sure you know, it throws in a section once it's put in a row. For mine today, I'm going to use a row with 2 columns in it. In the first one, I'm going to throw my logo in. So I'll just throw an image module. There's my regular logo. We'll pop that one in. Of course, it's way too large. I'm going to go over to my design and sizing over here. In the width, I'm going to make it the size I want. I'm going to say 180 pixels. That'll work on pretty much every device. Going to select pixels from over here. Perfect. Over in this one, I'm going to add a little icon. It doesn't have to be an icon. You can use their new little, there's another module that they've added to called a link module. I roll down a little bit. You can use one of those, or you can use anything you want to trigger this. I'm actually going to use an icon. And let's find a hamburger. That's going to do absolutely fine. I'm going to leave it on the default color there. But I'm going to make it a lot smaller. Let's say 30 pixels. Obviously, adjust yours to taste. Great. Now, I want these modules to be lined up exactly. So I'm going to click on the row that they're sitting in. We've got a nice new flex system. If we go into layout, it should be set to flex. I want to make sure they're aligned center. Perfect. Just so we can see what's going on here, I'm going to chuck a bit of box shadow underneath. Let's do that in the section, the blue tab for the section there. Roll down, there's the box shadow. Throw that on the bottom, we can see where it is. That's a little bit deep for me. So let's go into the spacing. I'll take the padding down. I think I used about 20 pixels before. Obviously, you're going to want to adjust yours to whatever you want for yours. Perfect. Okay, now comes the fun part. Let's go back into this icon here. I want to align it on my right-hand side. Here's alignment. We're over in design, so I'm going to pop it on the right-hand side. Now I'm going to go back over to content. I'm going to go down to elements. I'm going to add a drop-down to it. I'm going to hit add element. And here's a nice new drop-down module that they've added. Just appears as a square there. As you can see, we're in it now because we've added it. So once in the drop-down, I'm going to start adding the elements that I want to be in it. First thing, I'm going to throw another logo in there. This is all optional. Again, I'll use an image. By default, it's got a black background there. So I'm using a light colored version of my logo here. Again, that's way too big. So let's go over in design, sizing. I think 150 pixels will be ample. Great. And that's going to set the size of our drop down here. You can adjust it, and I'll show you later on where you can adjust it. That's great. Well, I'm going to go back into our drop down by hitting the back arrow here. We're going back to the drop down. As I was saying, it's setting the size because it's set to max content width. So the widest bit of content that we've got in there is as wide as it's going to be. And that's probably going to do it for me. But if you wanted to, you could give it a fixed width here, whatever works for you. But now we're in our drop down. I'm going to go back to the content. I'm going to add some links. So I'm going to add a new element. I'll roll down. I'm going to use that little link element right here. Now I'm going to go into the link. As you can see, we're in the link now. And you've got the option to add an icon. This is great for adding icons to your menus and things. Let's just perhaps add a right-hand arrow. That'll work. It's not exactly what I want though. Over in design, I want my icon to be a lot smaller. I'll leave it on the default color just for expediency. Say 20 pixels. See what that's okay. But again, I want them to be in line. So if we go up to our layout just above, remember we're still in our link item. It's going from right to left. You can put it left to right and it'll do it the other way. But if you click back on this one, we've got the icon on the left-hand side there. The gap's a little bit too much for me. We can adjust that right here with our horizontal gap. For instance, if I put 5 pixels in there, it'll cinch it up close. I think that's a little too much. Let's put it back to 10. That's great. Obviously, when you're happy, you can continue. I'm going to go into my content now because obviously it doesn't want to say text link. In the text under content, I'm just going to home, whatever it is you want to do. Obviously, you're going to want to link it down here. You can either use a dynamic link by rolling over, selecting a dynamic link, and choose your pages here. Or put in whatever page you want. I'm just going to put hashtag for a placeholder for mine. Just for a little fun with mine, I added a little hover effect underneath so it had a border when they hovered over it. To do that, again, still in the link, we'll go over to design, border. Just want one on the bottom. Make it as wide or as short as you want. Say 2 pixels. You can see it appearing there with the default color. I'll leave like that, but when they hover over it, I wanted it to turn the same blue as the link color. So for hover effects at Divi 5, we need to go up to the top, to the little computer type icon there, left click, go to hover state. And again, we can set a completely different color on hover. So I'm going to use that one on hover. It's a little bit close to the icon and the text itself for me, but we can adjust that with a bit of padding. Now, something really important, when you do a hover effect or something like that and you switch it up here, make sure when you're done, you switch back to desktop mode. Otherwise, anything you do edit-wise will only appear when they hover over it, and I've been caught with that myself. So make sure you switch back to desktop mode. Okay, well, let's give it a little bit more space. Still in design. We can close up our border here. Spacing is just above. Padding top and bottom. Well, let's try 5 pixels. See what happens. It's pushed that line down nicely. I think that's going to work for me. Now to duplicate it, really easy. We can go back into our drop-down module to our content and the elements where we put the link in the first place. Duplicate it right here with the 2 little squares as many times as you want. Now they're a little far apart, so to cinch them up, I'm sure you're ahead of me, we can do that with our flex system too. Over in design, layout is where the flex is. Here's our vertical gap of 30. Let's take it down to 10 and see what it does. I think that's going to work for me. Obviously, adjust yours to taste again. And just for fun, go back to the content now. You're going to want to go in and change the names on these things and services. Of course, unless you're using a loop, then you can do everything dynamically. I'll pause this and I'll just do these other 3. No point you watching me do this over and over again. And obviously change the link just down below here. Great, so I've added that. Let's go back into our drop down again and we'll just add a little button, perhaps for a contact at the bottom. Elements, let's add a button. We'll go into the button. Let's say contact. And again, obviously put your link in here. A little bit big for me. I'm not going to change much about this button, but we're in the button. I've gone to design. I'm going to hit the button here, use custom styles. I'm going to go down to button text. I'm going to take mine down about 14 pixels. Obviously subjective. You do yours how you will. Alignment wise, I think I'd like it either in the middle or on the left. We can do that. We roll up a little bit. Here's the alignment. Pop it in the middle. Doesn't look too bad. I think I'll keep it on the left just like that. Obviously, go ahead and keep adding things and adding things. If you want to drop down or sub menu item from here, you can just add another link to this existing link in content and elements. But that's pretty much going to work for me. Now, if you wanted to, you could add an icon to close it with. If I was doing that, I go back out into my drop down, content, elements. Again, I'm sure you're ahead of me. Add an element. Use a little icon. It's popped it in at the bottom there. Going to go into that icon. Obviously, we'll want a slightly different icon than that one. So trying to close. That one will do. And I think I'll pop it up on the top right hand side. Let's do that. We can do that over in advanced and position. We need to position it absolutely within our parent container here. Parent container being the drop down itself. It's going to say absolute. It's popped it on top left. I want it on top right. Let's bring it in and down a little bit, perhaps. Vertical and horizontal offset here. Just going to use 5 pixels and 5 pixels on the horizontal too. That'll pretty much work for me. It's covering my logo a little bit, so we can just add a bit more padding to our drop down. So before we do that, let's add the interaction. So it'll make it close this thing. In my case, I'm not actually going to need that because I'm going to do a hover. When they hover over this, I want this to appear. So when they take their mouse off, it's going to disappear. But for anybody who wants to do it on click, I'll show you. Still in advanced and still in the icon, we can close that position now. Go to the new interactions tab, Divi 5 I've added. We'll add an interaction. I'm going to say on mouse click, we want to toggle the visibility, or even better, we'll hide the element. What element? Our drop down. Now, I haven't got much on this page, so I haven't given our drop down an admin label. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to open this and it's going to give us everything on our page. Luckily, I haven't got much. There's our drop down. That's what I want it to toggle. But in a moment, I'll go back to the drop down and show you how you can add an admin label to identify it if you've got a lot going on your page. Like I say, you can build this in your theme builder and have it on all pages if you wish. Once you're happy, we can close this down. I don't want any delay. I want it to happen as soon as they click on it. Great, well, let's go back into our drop down now. I'm going to give it a little bit more padding on the top so that's not touching my logo. Again, I'm going to use the back arrow. Or if you have a problem and you can't get to something, you can always go over to wireframe mode and it'll show you everything on the back end right here. And if you think, well, I can't see the drop down, drop downs, remember, inside our icon. So if we go into the icon, content, elements, there it is right there. And we can flip back at any stage. Okay, well, to give it a little bit more padding on the top, I'm sure you know how to do that. Over in design, spacing, here's padding top. Let's make that, say, 30 pixels. See if that works. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Now, my drop down itself, I want it to appear over on the right hand side here. At the moment, it's sitting on the left hand side of the row that our icon's in here, because remember, it's inside our icon module. So if we go into the drop down right here, we've got it floating at the moment. That's fine. Drop down alignment, it's at the start. We can have it in the middle or we can have it at the end. So I'm going to put it at the end, center, if you want it in the middle of the parent container, or the end, which is exactly where I want it. It's got a 20 pixel offset, so it's 20 pixels down from our icon there, which is perfect. In fact, that looks more than 20 there, but it's going to work for me. And you can choose to show down on hover or on click. Hover is going to work perfectly for me. Now, what I was saying before about adding interactions and being able to identify things, while we're in our drop down, let's go over to content. Right at the bottom, you'll see the metadata here. They've changed this recently. It did used to say admin label. So we can give our drop down a name that makes it easier to identify when we're looking at that. Let's capitalize that M. And also, you may have noticed Force visible. While we're in the builder, we're going to see this at all times. It's going to disappear on the front end. Now we're going to admin enable. If I was to add an interaction to this, I don't need to for this particular one. When I select the target module, you'll see it's got my drop on there. Now, if you've got a lot going on your page, that's a really handy thing to do. Now, I really don't want to put that on there, so I've X'd out. And because I'm using on hover, I'm going to get rid of that little icon there because I don't need it either. So you know how to get rid of that. Back over in content and elements. Let's just trash it. Perfect. Now, if you've done everything correctly, this should now work for us. Let's save the changes. And we'll preview on the front end. And here we have it. Not much going on this page. When I hover over our little icon, our menu is going to appear. We can hover over. We got that little hover effect, underline effect going on. Obviously, you can click any of these links. It'll take you to wherever it is you've linked to. And then if we take our mouse off, it's going to disappear. And as I demonstrated before, if I hit my F12 key, here we are on iPad Air. Now you need to click on it on an iPad, obviously. And it'll do exactly the same thing. Click off of it again, it's going to disappear. Really, really nice new features. What with the drop down and the links, it really is going to take it to another level building menus. Congratulations, Elegant Themes. I think you've done a great job on this. I really do. And I'll be doing more videos about this, how to create mega menus and things like that. Also, I'll probably do a little video about this little before and after module. I'm pretty sure 99% of you know exactly how this is going to work. Really easy to do. You can add your little tags. Like I say, I've used this sort of thing. Usually you have to use a plugin like Supreme Modules or something to do this. I've used it on pressure washing sites and detailing sites and things like that. Really nice. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. Don't forget, Divi 5 is still in the beta stage at the moment. It's going to be released, I think, in a couple of weeks to the final stage. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it. I think they're doing an amazing job. It's going to put a lot of other builders out of business, I believe. So once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.